Hello everyone, I am back with another video. Just want to let you know there is a recent upload on my channel talking about the latest movies I've collected on September 1st, so go ahead if you want to take a look at that. But today we're doing another plug and play review of my first one since, what's like 2015, 2016? Oh, 2017 maybe. God, it's been that long? Jesus. But today I'm going to be doing another plug and play. It's another Namco one. Here we have the Namco plug and play Pac-Man thingamajig. The terrible name, I know, but this was released back in 2008 by Jakks Pacific. Of course, they pretty much created the plug and play. I mean, plug and plays have been around for Lord knows how long. Um, there was one where they collected a crap ton of Atari games. I think that came out in the 90s. Now it's unofficial. It didn't really all jumpstart until around the early 2000s, again with Jakks Pacific, and personally also with Radica. But some of the most popular ones from Jakks Pacific are the Namco ones. And I suppose they're the ones that are the best sellers of the group, considering. Um, they initially came out with 5 games, but like I said, in 2008, they released this one. And you're probably going to see me gushing over it because this thing, like design and overall its build quality, this thing it definitely has some weight to it. It's kind of hefty and overall just feels just really nice in the hands. But as for what we got with controls, we got a 4-way joystick and we got 2 buttons, the A and B buttons. But what's interesting about these is that as you may hear, there's micro switches in them. And what's interesting is that this also has twist controls, and that's been one of the games, which I will be showing off in a bit. But for now, let's take a look at the overall design. As you may see, mine's not in the best of shape, but thankfully it still works after nearly 15 years. Jesus, 15 years. As you may see, it's fully designed around Pac-Man. The overall look and design, with the Pac-Man logo smack dab on the front of the console. As you may see, on the side here, you got some more stickers of the Pac-Man crew. By the way, I'm also doing this as not that long ago. Pac-Man World Repack just got released on modern consoles, so if you're interested in getting those, go ahead. It's like $30, at least on PS4. But anyway, as for other ports, we got the on and off button and the menu button. This not only of course, it sends you back to the menu, but if you're playing a game, it also counts as a pseudo pause button. So got that situated. And on the back it has the battery cover, and it houses 4 AA batteries. And then of course it uses composite. In this case, it's mono sound. But let's plop it into Sony Trinitron and give it a go. All right, so we got the Sony Trinitron built in. I do want to mention this too. I did get a new Sony Trinitron. This is a 13-inch, I believe. It's been a while since I measured it. Also, please excuse the background noise. I have a dog, and I do not like it barking. But what else am I supposed to do? They're animals. But anyway, let's turn it on. VCR is already turned on, so I'm just going to connect that to the second input on here. Now I'm going to go and turn off the light here as someone help. Also, please excuse the as you see the glowing line there, as the TV is in a different refresh rate compared to my camera. So there we go. And so let's turn it on. This is also developed by HotGen Limited over in London. And of course, as it is from the late 2000s, it's of course under the now known Bandai Namco brand. Because if you didn't know, around the late 2000s, Bandai and Namco decided to do a joint effort. But another thing I wanted to mention is the menu. First, personally, I love rainbow menus where it would constantly change from 256 colors. Those menus I love. But yeah, here's the menu, and this Plug and Play, wrong button, Jesus Christ, has 12 games installed. We got Bosconian, Xevious, Galaxian, Galaga, New Rally X, Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, the Japanese Pac-Man Pal, Mappy, Dig Dug, and Pole Position. Now, let's start with Pole Position first, because that's where the twist control comes in. So, if you remember, Pole Position was a driving game. And initially, when it came out in the arcades, it came, the arcade cabinet had a steering wheel. And as you may tell, if you hear the clicking, it's not moving. But I'm supposed to twist the analogs or the joystick in order to move the cart. It's both a dumb and a smart way in order to get it to work on here, and it works really well. I wish the sensitivity was a little bit lower, because as you can see when I hit the corners, I can kind of hit the corners really easily. But overall, it works. This wasn't the only time this had a function like that. So, they made Jakks Pacific made a Miss Pac-Man plug and play, and Pole Position was in it, and it had that exact twisting joystick control as well. So, but yeah, as for that pause button, as you may see, you can continue or just quit. But what's interesting also here is that this actually has a sleep mode. Of course, if you leave it on after like around 5 minutes, it turns off in order to save on battery power, which is nice considering it's 4 AA batteries. Another notable thing about this is that it saves your high scores, and of course, as they are arcade games, it's beneficial. So, this is my most recent high score there. I know it's pretty difficult to read on a CRT, especially from a camera, but it says 53,270. So that's really nice. But that's Pac-Man. And well, maybe it's just me, but this is the kind of Pac-Man I'm used to, where you have the maze on this side and you have the scored high score on the other side. I'm really used to it. Besides that, it's literally Pac-Man. Ghost AI is the same. Sound effects are pretty much the same. One thing I noticed is that when you get a power pole and you eat a ghost, it's faster. There's been a delay if you would eat a ghost. As you may see, it's quick, and I kind of like these plug and plays a little more. This one especially because of that. It's a quicker bite to eat. Ooh, okay, that was close. Then it's been a while since I played Pac-Man, with this amount of tight control. If you own Pac-Man Museum Plus, there's a problem where it has some delayed controls, and that's not good, considering, with Pac-Man you need the right amount of movements. But yeah, this is Pac-Man, alright. True sense of the term. But does contain a few other games, like I said. Notable one in my eyes is Pac and Pal. This one somewhat got re-released in the mid 2000s in a plug and play, but little known facts that Pac and Pal was a Japanese arcade game. It was only released in Japan. It was gonna get a North American release by Bally Midway, and it was going to be based off of the Pac-Man television series from Hanna-Barbera, where instead of the ghost, the girl ghost there, and I died, Jesus. It would have been replaced by Pac-Man's dog. I believe his name was Chomp Chomp. I've never seen the TV series. I've only seen Ghostly Adventures, so. But yeah, as you can see here, you're supposed to flip these cards in order to collect the fruit, but then the girl ghost can grab the item and bring it back to the ghost chamber. Yeah, I'm not really that good at it, to be honest. Pac-Man as a whole, besides, Fast Pac, very fast Pac-Man, and Pac-Mania is the one I take any pride at for being good. I'm actually really good at it. Not being, boasting here, but I really love Pac-Mania. It's my personal favorite of the Pac-Man games. Arcade games, actually, but, As it is an earlier plug and play, some audio can sound a little off, most notably with Zebius. Here, take a listen. Yeah, the music and overall sound effects are just off. I mean, it's still listenable. I'm actually okay with it and playable, of course, but it's definitely a lot different when you're so used to it. Plus, some of them actually do sound really good, like New Rally X here. Has a running tune. Like I said, some sound effects are much off. Like, of course, when I got in the L button there, the it doesn't sound like it's ticking. It's just an overall like a crescendo. But overall, this playability as a whole, it feels like you're playing a collection of arcade games. The conversions here are really well done. There is one game that did suffer a bit from it, and that's with Bosconian. So with Bosconian, it initially came out with an 8-way directional, joystick, as this is a 4-way joystick. You can't do diagonals, so that's a little bit of a problem. And you kind of need it too, considering enemies coming diagonal attacks. I mean, I can somewhat play it fine. I actually am quite a fan of Bosconian. But either way, you just kind of need more of a sense of control. And thankfully, with some home ports, especially the modern ones, e.g., Namco Museum Megamix or like the Wii, it actually kind of makes it a lot better. Considering that let me grab my nunchuck here. When you play with nunchuck, the octavial gate, you can just like snap into it like any time. With a D-pad, it's just as good, sure, but I don't know. It kind of felt like it was made for such. Another notable thing about some games, Dig Dug and Mappy, is that sometimes the games would pan and scan in order to show the game. It's kind of like how it used to be done with VHS of the sort. And I always talk about this kind of stuff with friends, especially with CinemaScope movies. Seriously, don't watch Atlantis the Lost Empire and pan and scan. It's not great. But either way, again, it's still playable. Either way, sometimes you'll probably barely be up around the surface anyway, considering. But yeah, just overall, this whole plug and play is just a joy to use. The one thing you might have to if well, the one thing I must recommend you about this thing is that it is rather pricey to find it online. I was able to find mine for $20 at the Retro World Expo here in Connecticut. Um, it was back in the end of August over at the convention center, and I was trying to look for one for quite a while, as I did want to have one plug and play after years. I had one many years ago, if you remember, that one Pac-Man plug and play that came with a Pac-Man 256 playable level. That was nice, but the problem with that one is that it was designed odd. The joystick was really mushy, and it didn't really control that well. But Jakks Specific really hit it out of the park with this one, and it's definitely one I do recommend you try to get if you can find it at the right price. Especially considering the coding and overall like design, it's no surprise why this was sought after, and um they did reuse this style of joystick. I believe it was for a Space Invaders arcade plug and play. I believe it was out from Nemoratica, but it had a similar joystick to this. This buttons and all. But I definitely recommend you try to get this when you get the chance. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Uh, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you guys really like the Trinitron. This thing is beautiful. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, see ya.